Thanks so much for being with us.
Nice to be here.
So, suppose an organization wants to begin producing visualizations. Where is the first place they should start?
Right. Well, that depends a lot on what they want to achieve, obviously. So if somebody is kind of into diving into their own data a little bit, trying to do some analysis and maybe publish some stuff either on the web or kind of in static format, I'd recommend tools like Tableau or maybe R for the ones that are kind of more into programming and coding. If you're building data visualizations into your website and kind of need simple charting and graphs and stuff, libraries like HighChart are really good for that kind of stuff. But for somebody like us that are building an application that it's really kind of data visualization heavy, we've gone for the kind of open source libraries that allow us full control over the look and feel, and we can add our own interaction and things like that. So we've chosen Protovis, which is an open source library made by a guy called Mike Bostock. And we'll probably migrate into another library made by him called D3 when browsers that support SVG become more kind of prevalent in the market.
Now, as you guys have moved deeper into data visualizations, what are the hurdles that you've run into, and what are the things that other people should look out for?
So I'd actually, the first thing I'd say, it's harder than it seems to do it right. So the main hurdles that we've seen have maybe not necessarily been technological, but more kind of understanding how to present the data right, how to do things both right in terms of data visualization and also make things beautiful, because often you see kind of things that are done well from the data presentation side, but they're ugly as hell, and then you see something that looks almost like an artwork, but you can't figure out what the hell it is. So I'd say get your kind of basics on the data visualization. Just in the data visualization field, right? Kind of in the from the academia side and things like that, before you kind of choose the solutions you're going with and so on. And it's surprising how often people forget things like the metadata, the sources, the things that actually make you understand and trust the data that you're looking at. And these things are tricky to get right, and that's where I'd kind of focus.
Now, why is it a bad idea for an organization to build its own visualization library?
It's the people that are doing data visualization, they tend to be technical. They can kind of develop. They're even developers, and they think, oh, this is easy. I can do this. So and they're right. I mean, you can get like 80% of the functionality up and running quite quickly. But when you kind of get into the corner cases and there's a growing list of requirements and things like that, you kind of this is a rabbit hole that goes deeper than you kind of would imagine. So go with something that's out there, contribute to some of the open source projects that are there, or kind of use a ready-made tool rather than buying something. Otherwise, this ends up like the CMS market, where there are literally thousands of systems. None of them are any good because everybody's building their own.
Now, what types of tools and technology do you believe hold the most promise in the visualization field?
In my mind, hands down, the Protovis and the D3 libraries for kind of creating custom online visualizations are the tools to look out for. The D3 is what if I were now in school and I were coming out as a data scientist in a year or two, D3 is definitely the tool to go for. Highly interactive, really easy to do, interactive and good looking stuff. So that's where I'd focus.
So last question. I know that DataMarket just came out with a new tool set. Is that correct?
Yep.
Can you talk a little bit about that, what it is, and what you're hoping to do with it?
Right. So DataMarket essentially has up until now been a search engine where you can search through data from kind of high-level data providers such as the UN, Eurostat, IMF, and others. But this morning we announced tools for data publishers themselves that can make their data available on DataMarket. So somebody that has interesting research that they want to either make available for free or for a fee can use our tools to do that. And we also announced customer relationships with, or actually sales to a couple of high-level customers that are using our tools to deliver the research data to their customers, one of them being Yankee Group, a pretty well-known market research company in the telecommunications space. So it's an exciting time for us, kind of to change the model a little bit around, focus on the data publishing side. So we also made a lot of the end user functionality that until now has been behind the paywall, available for free. So anybody can now download data in a lot of different formats and create their own live reports of stuff that's of interest to them or their industry. So a lot of good stuff on datamarket.com today.
Great. Well, thanks so much for swinging by. Appreciate it.
Thank you.